Hey everybody, it's Willow from Willow Mystical, and today I am going to work on making my Imbolc oil and my Imbolc incense. So the oil that I'm using, here's what you'll need for your Imbolc anointing oil. You'll need a carrier oil, you'll need frankincense oil, cinnamon oil, cedarwood oil, lavender oil, and rosemary oil. So I use the oil I use for such an occasion, and I use this oil all the time, is a sunflower olive oil blend. And it's 80% sunflower oil and 20% extra virgin olive oil. This is just the blend I found out I like to use for any oil I create, be it to make salves and balms or be it to use for my magical practice. So that is the carrier oil I'll be using. Now to this I am going to be adding 4 drops of frankincense, and I make sure that all of my essential oils are therapeutic grade. That way I can use them on my skin if I wish to anoint myself. So I'm going to add 4 drops of frankincense oil. 2, 3, 4. And then I am going to add 3 drops of cinnamon oil. And this is really, this oil is really a good oil to use anytime for the sun and for happiness and for your creativity, your inspiration, and for joy. I mean, it's just a great oil to use for all those situations. Cinnamon is 3 drops. I'm sorry, 3 drops of cinnamon. And 3. I think I just got that on my cloth. So if I do, put a spare piece of paper underneath there, let it drip on that. There we go. And then I want to add 3 drops of cedarwood. Oh, they did go on the outside. I swore that was going to be written down the outside. And then instead of lavender in mine, I am using Parma violet oil, because violets are my favorite flower, and they're the flower and the coloring. I chose the violet flower to represent my Imbolc moving into spring. For my hope of a spring, a bountiful spring as far as rejuvenation and new beginnings, and for planning and for setting goals. So instead of lavender, I am going to add 4 drops of my violet oil. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, 4 drops. And then I am going to add 3 drops of rosemary. Come on, rosemary. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now I'm going to take this pipette and I'm just going to gently stir this. That over here, and I think I'm going to put the cork on and gently just swish it around. Oh, I really do like this. The rosemary and the violet are the main notes, and the the cedar, cinnamon, frankincense, or the bottom note. And this is really, I really like this oil. I think I might bottle one of these little 10-meter oil oil dispenser, as I know I have a friend who is absolutely going to love receiving one of these. Yes, perfect. So I will get this off to them, as I know they're just going to love, love, love receiving one. Beautiful. Perfect. I think I will fill one more, because I think I have more than enough for myself. But this is a great oil to use on candles, to anoint items, amulets, crystals, your wand, and your other tools. It's a great oil to anoint yourself, to bring in all of those beautiful properties of the goddess Bridget and Imbolc, and the oncoming hopes of spring. So there, now I've bottled 2 of these, and I still have plenty, enough for myself, and that was set on my altar. And now let's get to making our incense. And this one, as I said, you'll see me with a lot of these little dishes. I pick them up at the flea market for hardly nothing. This one is chipped here, and it has a broken leaf, so you know it really can't be used. You know, they really can't sell it to be used for much anything else, but I love to take it, and I love to make my incense in them. So for my incense that I will burn in the cauldron, I will be using 1 part cinnamon, 1 part rosemary, a 1/2 part lavender, a 1/4 part frankincense resin, a 1/4 part of dragon's blood resin, and a 1/4 part or 1 cedar snip. So shall we get started with this? So the first thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add my 1/4 cinnamon. Now the cinnamon I have is cinnamon pieces, or cinnamon bark. So I'm going to try to break little pieces of this off, and if I can. Perfect. So I think just a stick of this should be enough. I don't plan on making a whole thing of it. This, I'm just going to make enough for myself. Whereas the oil I can use all season, and I will use it, because I had ran out of my altar oil, or the oil that I make mostly for using for my altar oil. I didn't make Yule oil this year, because I still had a little bit of my other altar oil, so I used that. But now it is gone, and I needed a new one, and since Imbolc was coming up, I just thought I would use that instead. And it's a beautiful oil, you know, especially when you substitute the Parma Violet for lavender. Okay, now I got my cinnamon. Remember, Imbolc is Bridget's feast day. You know, it is to honor the goddess. We already done. Now I want to add my frankincense. No, the cinnamon, my rosemary. And it says a 1/4 part of rosemary. Now what I'm using is, since I put about 2 of these in there, and that's going to count as how much of cinnamon, a 1/4 part. So it would be 8 of these, and I used 2. So now I need a 1/4 part of rosemary. Now this rosemary, or is this cedar? This is the cedar. Now, rosemary, it will be the same. I will use 2 spoonfuls of rosemary. Perfect. And then I'll add the lavender. And for the lavender, I use a half. So that means I'll use 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I add my frankincense resin, and it's a 4th part, so it will be 2 of these. And mine are like the frankincense tears, the little bitty, you know, nuggets. And then I will use dragon's blood. And this is also a 4th part. And my dragon's blood is pretty well beaten down as well. I love dragon's blood. But this can be hard to come by. You really have to run it down to find it. Then you've got to beat it to break it apart, because it really does stick together. Like right now, it's the big parts pieces trying to come up, and I need the small. There we go. Now this one have to be good now. I can grab a little bit more. There we go. And then my cedar. Now this cedar is in, I said, or snips, you know, because this is what you call a snip of a cedar. It's just from a cedar tree. So just break that up, put it in there. And this is 1/4. So I'll probably do another. Just add a little bit more. There we go. And this is all I need for my own, you know, for my own little, this is all of the herbal incense I'll need for my own personal use on Imbolc. But, ooh, isn't that just really so pretty? So I will burn this in my cauldron. And what I may do is I may put a couple drops of my Imbolc oil in with it. You know, not much. I think I might go ahead and try that now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's enough. And then I'll stir this around. And there you go. That is my Imbolc altar. It looks kind of springy, doesn't it? But this will be my incense that I will burn on Imbolc. And this is the oil that I will use to anoint my candle and possibly anoint myself as well. So, again, we'll go over that real fast. In your oil container, you will want to use your carrier oil. I use sunflower olive oil. And you'll want to use 4 drops frankincense, 3 drops cinnamon, 3 drops cedarwood, 4 drops lavender, but I substituted it for the Parma violet, and then 3 drops rosemary. For your herbal incense, it's 1/4 part cinnamon, 1/4 part rosemary, a 1/2 part lavender, 1/4 part frankincense resin, 1/4 part dragon blood resin, and 1/4 or a snip of cedar. And there you go. So if you will, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, share, comment, ring the notification bell, and leave a comment below if you decide to make any of the items that we're making for our Imbolc altar. Leave your comment below and I'll get to it just as soon as I can. Stay forever magical, and most of all, blessed be.